big ass phone on my head. Every time I drive with this thing, everybody looks at me all funny. I have the Note 20, so this phone is freaking huge. And just imagine looking at me driving with this thing on my head. Not sure if you guys can see me. This thing's freaking huge. But we're going to a location right now to go ahead and talk about the mod list that's done. So we'll pick it up once we get there. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video is mainly going to be about the Q50. We're going to be talking about its current mod list and everything that I've actually done to the car. So I've done a few things here and there, but I actually never went over what's actually done to the car, where I bought everything, and how much I've actually spent. So this video is going to be specifically about that. Before getting started, this is a Q50 by Infiniti, and it is the luxury model. So this is not the sport model. A lot of things that I've done to the car I have upgraded, and do plan on doing a few more things in the future. So this is the Lux. It doesn't come with any of the cool features like navigation, the big brakes. It doesn't come with the seats don't actually fold down on my model, and I didn't find out until after I purchased the car that only some models do that. So but let's go ahead and start off with the front of the car. Starting off with the front of the car, I have a front lip that I purchased on eBay. So I've actually been looking for a lip like this for a while now, and it's a one piece made of polyurethane material. I'll link down where I purchased it from. Hopefully it's still available for you guys to purchase it, but this is specific to the luxury bumper. So if you have a sport bumper, you will need to purchase a different lip. And also if you have a red sport, they also make a different lip for that one as well. So depending on your vehicle and which model you have, will depend on the lip that you can get. But this is a one piece. I didn't get it painted or anything, and I'm actually happy I purchased this one just because it's so durable. Like, this thing is not coming off. And also I've hit it a lot of times going up some high bumps, and the lip has never actually fallen. So this one actually lasted a while. I used to have a three-piece lip. That one broke right in the middle, so I had to replace it, and I purchased this one, and I think this one is 100 times better. I don't remember how much I spent on this. I know it was over $100, but it was well worth it. It's lasted me for a very long time, and I also made a video on this one, so if you want to check it out, feel free. It's on my YouTube channel. I'll also link it down below, that way you guys can check that video out as well. Another very noticeable thing on the front is going to be the headlights. As you guys can tell, they are blacked out, or the housings, and then the actual daytime running lights are frosted. It's not a super high gloss white that you see on most Infinitis. It's a very light coat, so it's not as white as you would see on other Q50s, but it still stands out and it looks really good. I paid like 20 bucks for the black and the frost color, so it came out pretty cool. I like it. Like 20 bucks for pretty much everything, not including the heat gun. I already had the heat gun, so if you consider that as well, you're looking to spend about another 30 bucks on the heat gun. You can buy a cheap one like Wagner, but yeah, I also have a video on that. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested as well on how I did everything. So if you guys are interested in trying it yourself, you guys can check that video out. Another thing I did is I just painted the grille and the chrome inserts right here on the side black. I just used regular gloss black paint. It's like 10 bucks for the can. So if you guys want to do that yourself, it does make a huge difference, just because I'm not a huge fan of chrome. But as you can see, it does look a lot better. Even the side is chromed out. The last thing in the front that I can actually see is going to be the mirror covers. So these I just recently made a video on. Made a huge difference on the car. As you can see, beautiful carbon fiber, stands out a lot. These are like the M style mirror cover replacements. So these are not caps, they're actual replacements. You have to remove your stock one and install this one onto your car. So it made a huge difference on the car. I highly recommend this mod. If you're interested in purchasing these, you can contact Alliance Carbon Fiber, Alliance Carbon. I'll link it down in the description below as well. And then you guys can actually purchase them right now. They should be available on the website. So if you guys are interested in purchasing these are going to be $160. I'll double check. I'll make sure I'll leave a picture below of where they are on the website. That way you guys can purchase them yourself. Fitment is pretty much on point. It looks sick. Like one of my favorite purchases on the car right now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the side. Now, for my wheels, I do have Sport Rays from a 370Z. So these are the first version, because there's two versions. There's the first one, which are these here, and then there's a second version that's a little bit sharper looking, but I kind of like these a little bit better. These are the V1s. They are 19x10 all around, and they are 35 offset, I believe. I might have to check on the offset, but they're pretty aggressive for the Z and the for the Q in the rear. So they do stick out quite a bit in the rear. I had to get the fenders pulled. You can find these for a good price, depending on where you're at. Some people sell them for pretty cheap if they're trying to get rid of them, if they have bad tires. And then some people might try to sell them for quite expensive. If they have brand new tires and they're in perfect condition, you can look to spend anywhere about 600 to 1,000 used. And if you purchase them new, that's a whole different story. I think they're like 300 each. I might be wrong, but I'll look it up and I'll leave a link down below, that way you guys can check out the wheels. These were on my 370Z. I just moved them over, so I can't really give you a price on how much I've spent. The tires alone for these wheels are pretty expensive depending on the brand that you go with. I have Yokohama Advans Sports. So they are 275 in the front, and then in the rear they're going to be 285. So 285 is quite aggressive. With these wheels, you can run a pretty wide tire in the rear if you have the correct wheel for it. That you would have to go with a really high offset, usually around the 50s, to be able to run a really wide tire. But because of the body shape, you can't really run a wide wheel like this one. This is a 10, but it has a really low offset. So if the lower the offset is, the more the face in the middle will sink in and have the wheel stick out. So if you really want to have a wheel that's going to fit perfect, you're going to have to go with a really high offset. So usually I've seen people run 50 and they can run like a 305 on here, but that's really up to you. And the wheels usually have a really flat face, which is something I don't really like. I like the wheel to have a little bit of a concave. So if you guys can see, the wheel like sinks in. That's what I really like about the Rays as well. I love concave on my wheels. They have to like sink in for it to look a lot better, but that's just personal preference. You can go with some like Rohanas that stick out pretty far. I also painted the wheels on the Q, so these are like a magnesium blue. The real color is actually from Suzuki. I found it on a page. I really liked it. It has like a little bit of a sparkle to it. Not sure if you guys can really see it. You have to really look at it at an angle. You guys can kind of see it right there, but it has some sparkle to it. So it's blue, but then it has like a sparkle, and then at night it pretty much looks black. One of my favorite colors. I'm really happy I went with this. And if you guys are interested, I'll try to link or find where I got the code from. That way, if you guys are interested in purchasing the color and doing it on your car, you guys can do it as well. But it kind of reminds me of the TE37 color, which is the main reason I went with it. I just think it looks really cool because it's black, but then it's blue in the day, so it's really cool. That I got it done by a friend, but usually you're looking to spend about 400, maybe more, maybe less, depending on where you go to get a wheels painted or powder coated. So just depending on where you go, how much you're gonna spend. Another thing I forgot to mention is that these wheels are from a 370Z, but they are 19x9 in the front, I believe, and then the rear are 19x10. So I have 19x10 all around. I swapped out the fronts. So if you want to do that, you have to purchase the rears as well for the front. That way it looks a lot more better. The Femin is actually more similar to the rear, just because the front does sink in a lot more, because the offset is not as aggressive on the front when it comes stock. So just a heads up, just in case you guys are interested in purchasing these wheels yourself. My recommendation is that 285 does rub, so you will have to pull, or you will have to go with a smaller tire. So another modification, like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, is the pull on the rear. So the fronts are perfectly fine. I didn't have to pull them or anything, but the rears, I had to do a slight pull in order for the car to stop rubbing on the tire itself on the sidewall, because it would rub at times. But for the most part, when you're driving, it was pretty much good. So that was about 80 bucks. I got it done by Leo Rolls Fenders. I'll leave his Instagram, that way you guys can hit him up personally if you guys are interested in doing it yourself, or having him do it for you. He did an amazing job. As you guys can see, it's very clean. It doesn't look all wavy and sloppy. So that was 80 bucks. Hit him up, he'll do yours. Mine was just the rear, so if you do plan on doing the front and the rear, it's going to be a little bit more. But just hit him up, he'll hit you up with the pricing. That way you guys can get a deal with him. But yeah, it looks pretty sick. I like how it came out. Another thing that's done to the car is going to be the chrome delete. The chrome delete, I did it myself. I just purchased the supplies from Amazon. I'll link it down below where I purchased it from. I believe it was, I would say 20 to 30 bucks for the roll. I had to purchase 2 rolls, which came out to about 40. So if you're interested in doing it yourself, it is pretty time consuming. So if you want to do this, it does take a lot of time. I also have a video on this as well. Well, pretty much everything that I've done to the car, I have a video on for the Q50. So if you guys are interested, just go through my YouTube page. I'll also link down as much as I can. That way you guys can check out how I did everything. But it's pretty cheap, honestly, and it came out really good. I've had it on for a very long time now, so it's been lasting a while, and it looks really good. I like the blacked out look. Now, a question that I get a lot all the time is, what kind of side splitters do I have? And to be completely honest with you, I have no idea where these are from. I found them on OfferUp for really cheap, so I picked them up. And I can give you guys recommendations on where you can buy them from. My friend actually just purchased them, so I'll hopefully be making a video soon on these. But he purchases from Easy Splitters. You can purchase them from a lot of other manufacturers or people that actually make these that can sell them to you. I'll link down as much as I can. That way you guys can check out who actually sell these. I know they're on eBay as well, Amazon. So I'll link down whatever I can and what I find for you guys. But I have no idea where they're from. I didn't even ask the guy. I just purchased them because they were super cheap and installed them onto my car. But they're real carbon fiber. Not sure if you guys can see. And it has like a little winglet in the back. So these are side splitters, side skirts, extensions. A lot of people make them. I'll try to link as much as I can. But I spent about, I think it was like $200 for those. And usually they're like about 500 or 400 brand new. So I came up on those and they were brand new. It just makes the car look a lot more aggressive on the side. So I did mention this is a luxury version. Deluxe does not come with the big brakes. As you guys can see here, I actually upgraded these. I picked them up. I actually picked them up separately. So I picked up the first ones, or the front ones, from a guy who was selling them locally on a page that we have in Arizona called AZVQ. A lot of people post stuff that they have for sale. This guy was selling just the fronts, so I hit him up. I believe he sold them to me for like $250. I picked those up, and then later on in the future, I found the rear ones from my friend of mine that was selling them. He sold them to me for like, I believe it was like $275 or $250. So overall, I spent about 500 bucks for the Akebono big brake kit, and that's pretty good because you're looking at spend about $900 to $1,000 for the full kit, brand new. I'll link it down below. I know Concept Z sells it. There's a few other places like Z1 Motorsports and other places that sell them as well, and you guys will see the prices are pretty high for them. But 500 bucks for the full kit is pretty good, to be completely honest with you guys. And it does make the car look a lot better. Like, I don't think the wheels will look as good without the big brakes. It just wouldn't look as beefy or as aggressive. Just my opinion, it looks a lot better with the big brakes. It's one of the first things I actually did to the car, and also my 370Z as well. I have a video on that as well, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll link it down below. For the side, I think that's pretty much it. I just have the top. I got the roof wrapped in a gloss black. A friend of mine actually did it. His name's VQ David. So if you guys are interested in getting yours done in AZ, hit him up. It's been on here for a while. It's been holding up really good. I had no issues at all. And it just makes the car look a lot better. Let's check it out from the front. I think I spent about $100 to get mine done. The pricing might be different for you if you hit him up, just because he's a really good friend of mine. So if you guys want this done, hit him up. It looks really good. It just makes the car look a lot better. Now let's go over to the rear. So for my rear, I have a high kick spoiler. I actually get a lot of questions on this one as well. Full carbon fiber. I purchased this one on, I think it was eBay. Yeah, I purchased this one on eBay. It's been holding up really good. It still looks really nice. You can still see the carbon. It's been on there for a while. I would say since I got the car, so it's been like about a year. And it's really it sticks out quite a bit. Looks pretty aggressive. I like it a lot. I think this one was about 160 or 180. Last time I checked, I couldn't find this spoiler anymore. For some reason it was like removed or something. I'll try to find it for you guys. I know a lot of people have been asking me, and every time you guys ask me, I can't find the spoiler anymore. I can find it, like I see it on there, but when I click on it, I can't physically go in there and try to purchase it. So I do apologize if you guys can't purchase a spoiler anymore. It's one of my favorite spoilers that I've actually seen on the Q50. So I know a lot of people like it, but I'll try to find it as best as I can. But I know I spent like about 180 or 160 for it. And then this right here, this is actually paint. I covered this all up with paper, painted it. That was 10 bucks. Also the rear over here, on the bottom, the diffuser. The Lux actually comes with this diffuser already. It comes like this. So I just painted the bottom portion. As you can see where it's black. It doesn't actually come like that. Only the bottom part right here actually comes like that. So I just painted it for like 10 bucks. Came out really good. It's been holding up for a while now. It just makes the car look a lot more aggressive. If you guys have seen the before and after, it does make a huge difference. So if you guys have this bumper, I would highly recommend painting the bottom, or at least getting a diffuser for it. It makes a huge difference. The car alone just looks really good stock already, so just adding small details like I did makes a huge difference. And honestly, didn't even spend that much, to be completely honest with you guys. So it looks really good, especially if you do everything yourself, like the headlights. Saves a lot of money on that. But yeah, that's how she's looking. Now let's go ahead and go into the performance of the car. Let me go ahead and pop the hood. There's not much you can really see. It pretty much looks stock. If anything, it's probably going to be really dirty. As for the performance of the car, I have AMS Intakes. So these are about $500 brand new. I actually spent about $400 for them. I won a giveaway with Concept Z Performance, so they gave me $100 off of any intakes that I wanted. Now another thing that you can kind of see is going to be my coilovers. I have BC Racing coilovers. For those, you're looking to spend over $1,000, and I actually spent $800 for them. So that's actually pretty cheap compared to paying brand new. You're looking to spend like $1,000, and I'm pretty sure that's not including like taxes and everything. So pretty much came up on those. They were brand new, came with all the hardware and everything. And then another thing that you can't really see is going to be the AMS downpipes, 3-inch AMS lower downpipes. So I still have my stock upper downpipes, but my lower downpipes are from AMS. They're the 3-inch version ones. For 300 bucks, they're actually like 400 brand new. So I actually came up on those as well. I had a guy here who was selling them. I picked it up from him, so I saved 100 bucks on those as well. Another performance mod that I have is going to be the AMS Heat exchanger. So it's that one right there. You guys can kind of see it, the Infinity logo. I got that for about $650. It was on sale by Infinity over in California. I picked it up for pretty cheap, and it's about 800 bucks brand new. I believe that's not including tax. So you're looking to spend quite a bit. So I saved like $150 on those. And then another mod I have is going to be the JB4. So the car's not tuned yet. I would like to tune it in the future, but I just have the JB4, as you guys can see right here. I have the lines and everything, and then it goes inside over there. I didn't mind the easy way, that way I can remove it whenever I take it over to the dealer for any work or anything. So that's that for the engine that you can really see. I do have exhaust on the car. I have the AMS downpipes. I have a Megan white pipe, and then I pretty much have a custom catback from the back all the way after the white pipe. So it's actually a 2.5. Not sure if you guys can really see. But if you guys have seen the Stillen exhaust, it has pretty much one resonator. Not sure if you guys can see it. I think you can kind of see it right there. Not sure. I pretty much have one resonator. The exhaust shop did it for me. The Megan white pipe. You're looking to spend, I think it's 160. I got it used for 80 bucks. And then the exhaust after that was pretty much like 200 bucks. It was like 3 something, but that was including the white pipe. But if you didn't do the white pipe, then it would be a lot cheaper. So not that expensive. AMS downpipes 300, white pipe 80, and then the exhaust like 200 after the white pipe. A pretty cheap exhaust compared to spending like I believe like $1,000 for an aftermarket one. That, like for example, Mortardyne, theirs is like $2,000. Then you have HKS, which is also close to 2,000, a little bit over 1K. But it sounds really good. I'll show you guys a sound clip of it. So I'll link down everything that I've actually purchased for the car. I'll leave down the total of how much I spent. That way you guys can kind of get an idea of how much everything was. This is kind of like stage 1. I plan on doing a few more stages with the car, a few more mods. So it's not done yet. There's still a lot of things I want to do to this car, but this is pretty much how I'm gonna leave it for right now for a while. Like I said, the car really looks good, pretty much stock. So there's not much that you really need to do to the car. I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews on the parts that are installed onto the Q. I do want to go over the JB4, how it's been doing, also the downpipes, the heat exchanger. So I've installed a lot of parts onto the car. I just haven't really had a chance to really go over them. So I'm going to be doing a recap on everything that I've done to the car, just to give you guys a little bit of an update on how everything's been performing and how the car is actually doing. For more content, I do plan on putting a lot more out there. I did just purchase a little GoPro for my head. So I do plan on catching a little bit more races here and there of the Q and a few cars that I've raced. Like I said, I've already raced a few cars. I've raced a few Camaro SS's. I raced Charger RTs, Challenger RTs. The car does perform really well. It's very fast for what it is. I think it's like one of the best cars that you can really buy right now, that puts a lot of power and it looks really good. So I did actually race a Hellcat as well. I'll try to race another one if I can. It was a really close race. We were neck to neck with each other the whole time. I feel like if I would have had a real tune, I would have probably taken him. But just with the JB4, I did pretty well. And we were pretty much neck to neck the entire time. And then after like 120 is when he started like pushing, or he started pulling. So I was pretty surprised on how the Q did just on these bolt-ons and a JB4. So imagine with the real tune how the car actually would have performed. So I hope you guys stick around. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll be putting a lot more content out there for the Q and also the Z. I have owned the car for a year already, so I'll be going over like maintenance cost and what's actually happened with the car since I've owned it, if I had any issues, which is something that is going on a lot with the community right now, especially with this motor. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.